What time is it? It's time for Torie Talks. Let's go!
Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Torie Talks. This is my new podcast where I will be talking about all the little big things in life. We're just calling it Little Talk about a Big Life. I am so super excited. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I am just so excited to be able to share with you guys. And this podcast is basically going to be a space where I get to talk about my life, my dreams, my faith, talk about funny stories, lessons I'm learning, honestly, whatever's on my mind. You guys will get to participate too. I am so excited. This is going to be so much fun. Okay. So I basically want this to be like we're just sitting down and having a conversation, like nothing serious. If you ever want to watch me record an episode, I go live on my TikTok and record it. I'm currently live. Hi to my live. I'm super excited to just be here and do this. This is going to be so fun. Okay. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I am starting this podcast. So, basically, I wanted to start this podcast because I feel like life is made up of so many little moments and little conversations that we have, and they really end up shaping who we are and the things that we do in our lives. And sometimes it's just nice to talk about those things. And whenever I need to talk about things, whether it's chasing my dreams or just figuring out my life, because as a teenager, like that's pretty much my job right now is figuring out what my life is going to be like or just laughing about something random that happened during the week. I am so excited to create a space where I can do that and share it with you guys and we can have a laugh together. Hopefully, this is a little beginning of the week or midweek pick me up for you guys. And this is just going to be really fun because y'all know me. I love fun. Let's look at the chat on my live. Hi, live. My HQ says hi. My biggest fan, Audrey, says hey. She's been wanting me to tell you guys that. Audrey, hey, girl, hey. And yeah, so I just really excited to share stories from my life and things I'm learning and hopefully influence you guys and help you guys with some things that you're going through. Hi, everyone. And so let's get started. Okay, so this episode is basically just going to be like getting to know me a little bit. Okay, so basically, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. So, I am Torie and I love to sing, I love to dance, I love to act, I love anything creative, I love art, I love science. That's something interesting that not a lot of people know about me. I love science. I love a good problem solving thing. I love puzzles. I love word searches, like anything like that. Right now in my life, I am really just trying to figure it out. And I am currently a training actor. I am not currently necessarily training in dance, but I have been training in dance since I was 3. And I'm also a training singer. I'm just trying to figure out how to achieve my dreams and how to accomplish all the goals that I've had for myself that for like a long time and just lock in. That's what I'm trying to do. That is what 2026 is for me. I made March my month of intentionality. I'm just trying to be intentional with all the things I do, whether that's being intentional about cleaning my space, cleaning my room, making an environment where I feel comfortable. You might see my pink. It's very pink right now because I put lights in my room. I just wanted it to be super fun and I love being able to change my lights to fit my mood. That is something that I've really been enjoying. Just really like being passionate about the things that I like. So right behind me, you'll be able to see, or if you've seen any videos, I have a wall of just my favorite things. It is all Disney. I have a bunch of paintings, which also kind of incorporates that creative side of me. And then on another side of my room, I have a wall full of all my achievements because it's all those little things that lead to the big things. And I have like my dance stuff and my stuff from Girl Scouts, which I am so proud of myself. I am a lifetime Girl Scout now. I have officially been inducted into the lifetime of Girl Scouts. I've been a Girl Scout since I was 5, which is crazy. By the way, I am 19 years old. Forgot to say that. I am 19. I am currently I don't know how to explain this. I am in my first year of college. However, I'm finishing up my sophomore semester in April. I am a elementary education major. I am graduating in 3 years instead of 4. That's like the easiest way to put it. I have a dog named Kizzy 7. She is the silliest, goofiest, weirdest little thing ever. She's really, really cute. I live with my mom and my dad, and it's just me. I'm an only child, which you can probably tell sometimes. I am a nanny to 2 wonderful children. They are my absolute world. It's about to be 3 wonderful children. I'm so excited. We have a baby coming, and I just love my little people. I work in children's ministry. I am a worship leader. I am also a Bible teacher. I work with kids all the way from 6 weeks old to 6th grade, and they are like my little besties. They are the absolute best things that have ever happened to me. They are just so ready to soak in God's word and just have fun, and I love it. It is like my favorite job ever. Especially in the summers. Summers are really fun in kids ministry, and I will definitely talk more about that as we go along in this podcast. What other things? Let me talk about my dancing life a little bit. I've been dancing since I was 2 years old. I started off being a recreational dancer, which means I just was doing it for fun, and I would have the recital once a year. And then I got injured really badly, I think in 3rd grade, and ended up quitting dance. And then my studio shut down, which was really, really sad. Fast forward to 2021. I decided that I was ready to get back into dance, and I decided this time I wanted to do it competitively. Growing up, I loved watching dance competition videos on YouTube. So I was always really loving the competition world, but it is a lot more expensive than rec dance. If you've ever competed in any sport, it is a lot more expensive to compete. But I asked my mom, and she said we could totally do the competition this time. So in 2021, I moved to my new studio. It was a really big adjustment because I joined in January of 2021, which, if you know anything about dance seasons are like school years. They start in August and go till competition, which starts around January, February, and then you have your summer classes that you do. So I joined in the middle of a season. But the reason it was okay, it was the year after COVID, everything was kind of a little out of whack, but I joined the studio as a competitive dancer. In the middle of the season, I got put in as a lead in a hip hop dance, which was kind of crazy, but I absolutely loved it. It was Girl Scout themed, and I cannot wait to tell y'all more about like my dance that I've done because I love talking about my dances. But I competed up until I graduated last May, and it was so fun. I mainly did group dances. I've been trained in tap, jazz, contemporary, hip hop, ballet, but I don't compete in ballet. I just do it for technique. And I did my first solo last season, which was really, really scary. I'll definitely talk more about that. That was an interesting experience. It taught me a lot about myself. And yeah, that was a lot. But I loved competing, and I loved my dance family. And it was really like having a bunch of little sisters and one little brother. And they just looked up to me, and I just loved being a leader and being there for them. And now I have the wonderful opportunity to still be there for them in a whole different way. And I am going to be at all their competitions, but I am preparing myself to be the ultimate big dance sister you can think of, packing everything I can, everything you would think you might need at competition. I'm going to have it in my backpack, and I'm just ready to hype them up and be their biggest cheerleaders. I'm bringing snacks, I'm bringing games. I'm going to be like the loudest person in the audience. I am so excited for this new chapter. It is going to be so fun. Right now, I am helping cleaning dances for competition season, which I know can be really, really hard on dancers, is that cleaning period because your teachers seem really mean. And in reality, they're just trying to get you to like do the best that you can. Because although competition really isn't about winning, it always feels nice to win. It's mainly about doing the best that you can, and your teachers are trying to get you there. So it can be a really, really hard time on a dancer. So I'm really excited to get to be there and support them and help them. and help out my teachers as well, because my teachers are like my best friend. They supported me so much, and I'm so excited to return the favor. So, yeah, that is a little bit about my dance background. My acting and performing background, I did theater. I was in church plays growing up. The time I was like 3. The first time I ever performed in front of an audience, I was 3 years old, and I was an angel dancer. And I've done solos in front of audiences at churches. I kinda got, like, my entire start at church, which is amazing. But the first time I did a school theater production, I was in 1st grade. We did Aesop's Fables, and I didn't have a part, like, it wasn't really a part. I just was there and having the best time ever, and I absolutely fell in love with theater, and I had such an amazing music teacher that she just really believed in me and thought I had a gift, and really, just, like, poured all of her love into me, and I will never forget her for that. She made me feel like I was, like, the best person, and it was just so amazing. So the reason I love acting is actually because of her, because she just invested so much time and energy into me, and I am so incredibly grateful. I did theater all the way up until middle school. In 6th grade, I did a variety of shows. I did shows twice a year, and then I moved schools, and my new school did not have the theater program that did shows like that. But also, when I moved schools in 7th grade, COVID hit. But, the year of COVID, I actually did a production of Seussical the Musical, and I did most of my rehearsals on Zoom for months, and I never met these people. I started on Zoom, and then I ended up going in person, and we did, like, a version of Seussical where you weren't too close to each other. It was actually really interesting, like, how you adapt theater during that time. I also, rewind a little bit. The year before, 2019, in December, October to December, I did my first professional theater, performance of the best Christmas pageant ever. That was really, really fun. It was a lot of work because it was only 2 months of rehearsal, and it was every day after school for 5 hours. Like, you were there, you were getting stuff ready, and it was from 4 to 9, and so, basically, I would go to school in the morning. School started at 8, school ended at 2:40. I'd get something to eat, and then I'd head straight to our rehearsal space and, rehearse till 9, and then go home and do it all over again. On the weekends, however, our rehearsals, like, they were longer, but they kind of depended on what time it was gonna be. Most of the time, I didn't have to wake up early, which I was really thankful for because I am not a morning person. But I remember Tech Week, we had a 12-hour rehearsal with a lunch break, and I was so sick. It was awful, but, I made it out. I did the show. It was, like, a month of performances. It was super fun. They treated us like professionals, and that was my first experience ever being in professional theater, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I hopefully will get to do some more professional theater soon. Now, I'm currently training at Mark German. I love my acting classes. My acting class is actually relatively small, which is really nice because it is like a family in there. I have some really, really close friends. We text all the time and we do FaceTime calls. I facilitate a lot of Zoom calls outside of class so we can practice scripts and stuff like that. And it's just been a really amazing time getting to talk to people and meet people who have the same, like, interests as you, and you get to, like, cheer on everyone in your class as they get auditions and try new things, and I just absolutely love it. My teachers at Mark German are wonderful. They are so encouraging. I've been so much more confident in all of my auditions since I started going there. And I just absolutely adore them. Outside of that, I do a lot of auditions. I've auditioned a lot for big networks like Disney and some smaller productions as well. I recently, in October, filmed my first commercial, which was a super duper fun. I loved doing that and being on set. There was only 4 of us on set in this commercial, and we were, like, playing best friends. And genuinely, by the end of it, like, we were all friends, and we were just laughing, and we got to go to a coffee shop, and I had some amazing hot chocolate. We had pizza for dinner, and it was just a really all around fun time being in a park for a lot of the scenes and like walking around on a hill and looking at all the leaves and all the different things because it was like a fall campaign. That was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that. So, yeah, that's a little bit about my acting background. My singing background, I've been singing since I could talk. Grew up singing solos in church. My dad used to be a choir director, so, I got a lot of that from him. I'm just always singing. 98% of the time, I'm singing or talking, and most of the time when I'm talking, there's some singy-songy things in the middle of there. So I am one of those people that will randomly burst into song. Just saying. I have been trained to sing, since 2020 3, I think. I did a year with a vocal coach and then ended up not going back to her, just because some things had happened and I didn't have the time. But recently, I started doing voice lessons with Cheryl Porter. She is the absolute best. I love Mama Cheryl. She's so supportive. All the people who are a part of my program are so supportive, and I just absolutely love and adore her and her team, and I really feel like my technique has become so much better since I started doing classes with her. So I am so, so blessed to have Mama Cheryl as my vocal coach. Content creation. I am currently I like to say I'm a full-time content creator because that's what we're striving for over here. I currently am very, very active on TikTok. I do a lot of stuff promoting Disney, a lot of stuff promoting my girl Freya. I love Freya. I love just like hyping up actors and people who have been supportive of me over the years and are just doing amazing things, especially with Disney. Because I love Disney, I do a lot of stuff with Disney on my page and just being really authentic. That is really the whole goal of my page for me is just being authentic and having a place where people can come and they can talk to me. My DMs are always open. I love talking to people that follow me. I love getting advice. I love answering questions. It's just such a fun time. And my TikTok is like my favorite thing to do now. I used to be really scared of it. And now I go live every day. It's just amazing. I've met some amazing friends, some amazing content creators on there. I am considered a DZ content creator. What that is someone who like promotes Descendants and Zombies, especially the Worlds Collide tour when that was happening. I started being a DZ creator while the tour was going on, and it just kind of branched out from there. I gained a lot of popularity from doing the dances from the zombies movies on my live. I've had great interactions, great connections because of that. I've had connections with Disney because of that. Zombies, different choreographers, different actors. Like it has been so fun. It's been a crazy journey. I only started in like September or late August, and it's just been an insane, insane journey since then. And I just love my followers and supporters. And one thing that I'm really passionate about is never becoming too quote unquote famous or too popular to not have conversations with people. So that is why I'm really passionate about having my DMs open and answering every comment. Like I literally will sit down in my little chair and or at night and I will go through all my comments and I will like them and I will respond to every single one because I just think it is so important while I have the ability at this time because I don't know what my page will look like going down the road or what my time will look like. Right now, just as I have the time, taking that and creating relationship and just being there for the people who support me, I think that is so incredibly important. And I'm so glad that I get to do that because it might not always be like that. So, yes, that is a little bit about me. And I'm excited for y'all to learn a bit more about me as time goes on and we do more episodes. So, we are going to go on to our next segment.
It's time for the random question. Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do for this random question segment, my viewers on my live right now, they are going to ask me a really random question, and I am going to answer this question. So, every podcast, I'm going to allow people, normally, I'm going to post something and I'm going to pick a question and it's going to be super random. But right now, because I didn't do that, and I am live streaming, I'm going to let someone ask me a question and I'm going to answer it. And we're just going to call this random question. I'm just trying out some different segments. So if you like this segment, let me know. Okay. My first question my random question today is going to be random question. Let's see. We're waiting for a random question. If you were to have $1 million, what would you spend it on? That's a good question. Okay. If I was to have $1 million right now, what would I spend it on? And I had to spend it because the smart thing to do would be to put it away. But I'm not smart with my money sometimes. So what would I spend it on? Feel like I would probably spend it on like, moving out? Is that bad? Like, low key. Like, I know, like, someone might be thinking I'll be spending it on tour tickets or merch. Like, I already spend a lot of my money on merch. But, like, realistically, I would move out. And, like, I love my parents. I do. I love my dog. I'm take the dog with I take the dog with me. But I am so ready to just live on my own a little bit, and I not only would I use that money to move out, but I would use it to decorate my apartment or house, like a little house. I'm really right now into, like, my decorating phase. I'm redecorating my room, redecorating my bathroom. I'm just like, I have Pinterest boards that are, like, all about what I want my apartment and my future house to look like. So I think what I would do with $1 million right now would be move out. And if I moved to an apartment, best believe $1 million could get me, like, a pretty good apartment at, like, one of those luxury apartment complexes.
It's story time with
Storytime Tory is our next
Tori.
segment. I'm gonna talk about a story. I actually got a question in my live chat that is going to prompt my story today. What's your favorite audition that you did that you can talk about? Okay, I'll talk about my favorite audition. That will be our story for today. So today's story, let's see, what is my favorite audition? Actually, my favorite audition that I've ever done is the one I did last weekend. It was so fun. And the thing is, if you watched my vlog on that, I did not want to do it. Not that I didn't want to do the audition, I was just tired and I did not have the energy to do an audition because auditions take a lot of energy. I just didn't have it. It was not there. But I ended up really loving doing the audition. And it was more of a obviously I have to talk in general terms because this thing that I auditioned for is confidential, but I will talk in general terms. The character that I was playing was very like she was hurt, like, not physically, but mentally and emotionally hurt, and she just was having a hard time with her mom, and she was just having a hard time because people just weren't understanding her, and it was so relatable, like, I just, because a lot of the times I feel like people just don't understand me a lot of and that's, like, fine, but it can be really difficult, and I really wanted to make sure I was in this character, like, my outfit, like, everything down to everything about me. And I think because I didn't have a lot of energy, I was able to kind of take my tiredness and put it into like this frustration and anger that this character had. And my outfit it wasn't cute, but it was very like, very much what the character would wear. And I think because of all of those different pieces, I just felt so in character and I just loved it. Like, I've never felt so much like a character, and I think I did amazing on that self-tape. I was so proud of myself. I was downstairs yelling at, like, my imaginary person, um, that I was doing my scene with, and it was just so fun. It was like yeah, so that is probably my favorite one. That is my little story time today.
Tori
My next little
recommends.
segment is called Torie Recommends. So, also, side note, we may or may not do these segments every podcast, and they also will have some other things in the middle of them, probably. But this segment is called Torie Recommends. So, today I'm going to be recommending a show to you guys. Okay? Hear me out. Okay. I have the interests of a little child. I'm very mature, but I don't like watching, like, shows that are very mature. I like shows that just are fun and like engaging, and also have to do most of the time with Disney. So, this show that I am going to recommend to you guys is Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. If you have never watched this show, it is phenomenal. When I was younger and it came out, I'm so glad I didn't watch it because I'm a very sensitive child. I can't watch Alice in Wonderland because the Cheshire Cat scared me for years. I've not finished it. I can't do it. So, I am very sensitive. But this show has, I believe, 3 or 4 seasons, and it is so incredible. Like, there are so many plot twists that you do not expect to happen. I would say the first season is not as interesting as the last few, but it is necessary to watch the first season because you kinda have to understand, like, the relationships between the characters. It's Rapunzel, obviously, who is my favorite Disney princess, fun fact, and it's just so fun getting to see more of her story, and you get a lot more of everybody's story, to be completely honest. Like, Flynn or Eugene, he becomes more like you get more from him. He's not like this surface level guy that you kinda get from Tangled. There's a lot of depth to that man, and yeah, so I just really love that show, and I think everybody should watch it, and it's really good. And I don't care if you think you're too old for it, you're not. You need to not be too old for it. You need to watch it. So, and Tangled live action, let's talk about it. It is coming out eventually. We just got announced that my man Milo Manheim is going to be Flynn Rider, and he has really been prepping for this role. I've been watching interviews, and he has just been talking about his prep, and it is absolutely hilarious to me. He was saying that he's been running, but pretending to run from people, and that genuinely cracks me up. Like, I can't imagine seeing Milo Manheim running in the streets of LA, pretending to run from someone, and that is absolutely hilarious. So, and he's been riding horses and he's been working on his smolder. I'm just super excited for the live action Rapunzel. It is going to be so good. Rapunzel is my absolute favorite Disney princess. I had an entire Rapunzel themed senior year. Like, everything was Rapunzel themed. My senior jeans were Rapunzel themed. My senior notebook, my senior memory box, my grad party was not necessarily Rapunzel themed, but it was like kind of. It was princess themed with like really big Rapunzel hands. It was like Rapunzel but pink. There you go. That's kind of the vibe. And yeah, I'm just super excited for that.
Little
This
talk
next
of
segment
the
is
week.
my a little talk of the week. So basically, what I want to do with my little talk of the week, because remember, this is Little Talks, Big Life. I just wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement. We're getting to the end of episode 1. I hope you've enjoyed it. But as we wrap it up, I just wanted to give you a little encouragement. Today, we're just going to talk about sometimes we feel like we have to have everything figured out. But the truth is, most people don't have it all figured out and they figure out life as they go. And I think that is really important to remember. And it's something that I personally need to remember. And life isn't about having all the answers. Because think about it, guys. Just want you to think about it with me. If we had all the answers, then our lives would be pretty boring. Like, genuinely. And I think that it can be really frustrating to not have the answers, especially when we're asking and we're praying about it. But the reality is that it's about growing and learning, and you're going to fall down, you're going to make mistakes, but that's just all a part of life, and it helps you grow and it helps you become a better person, and you know, it's just vital. It's difficult sometimes to have that faith that you're not gonna that everything's gonna work out, and it's difficult to have the strength to continue on, but the reality is we aren't doing it in our own strength. We're doing it because you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. And I think that is something that is really important. It's really important to remember that God does things when it's the right time. I recently was writing in my Bible and just remembering that there are 3 answers, in my opinion, or okay, there are 3 answers that I understand that the Lord gives you. There's yes, and he gives you what you want or need, okay? There's no, and he doesn't give it to you, okay? Like, he gives you something better, okay? And there's wait, and wait is not a yes or a no. It is a not this time or not yet. I have something so much better planned for you. And he gives you that thing he has so much better, he has planned for you. And I think that it is so important to remember those three answers. So it's yes, I'll give you what you want. No, this is not right for you. I'll give you something better. Or wait, not yet. I have something in mind for you, planned for you. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. And just remember that as you go throughout your day, and remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of the God who created the universe, which is absolutely insane. Like, you might look outside and see a beautiful sunset. The same God that paints the sky, that beautiful pink and blue and purple, is the same God who made you. And another crazy way to think about it, it took God 6 days to make the earth. Some will say 7. Guys, he rested on that 7th day. He wasn't doing anything. So I always, like, in kids' church, I always ask the kids, like, how many days did it take for God to make the earth? And they would say 7. And I'm like, wrong. And they're like, no, it's wrong. It's 7 days. I'm like, he rested on that seventh day. Anyway, it took God 6 days to make the earth. Animals, trees, people, water, the sun, everything. But you wanna know something crazy? It takes 9 months. 9 months to make you. 9 months. Takes him 6 days to make the world that we live in, and he takes his time so much to create you in his image that it takes him 9 months. Knit you together in your mother's womb. That is insane to me, because you see how beautiful the world that we live in is? Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on, but, like, if you look at nature, there's so many amazing and beautiful little pieces. Everything works together. Like, the rain falls and waters the plants, and the plants feed the animals, blah, blah, blah. Like, everything works together, and the birds are never wondering where their food is coming from because they know that it's gonna be there, all those different things. And he did that in 6 days, and he spends 9 months creating you. So I just wanted that to be an encouragement to you this week. That is our little talk of the week. Just remember that you are created by an amazing God with an amazing plan, and you're gonna mess up. You're gonna disappoint yourself and disappoint others, but you can't disappoint God. And that is the best, absolute best reminder that we can have. And I am just so excited for this journey that we're going to take together. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for listening to this very first episode of Torie Talks. If you have any suggestions or questions, you can always DM me on Instagram or TikTok, or comment on my YouTube or whatever it is, or comment below this video if you're watching the podcast. Hey, and it just means a lot to me that you are here at the beginning of this amazing journey, and that you are an OG to Torie Talks, a Torie Talk OG. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow my podcast so you don't miss the next one. And remember, sometimes the biggest things in life start with the smallest conversation. In the words of Malachi Barton, there's no better feeling than a feeling of a new day. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Torie